yes, as the weather improves, perhaps band conditions will as well. Anyways, certainly appreciate all the hams here locally that supported today's activities, and I'm sure Pierre feels the same. So, all right, Chuck, I'll let you go ahead and say hello to Wade, and I'll be around for the duration. Back to you.
All right. Yeah. Very good, Mac. And so, okay, we'll get back to you then after we go around. What do they call it? Around the table one time. And so, thanks, Mac. We just turned on the live stream for YouTube. I was a little bit late. I do apologize. But we are up and running. If you'd like to watch and listen to us, just put in VA3CJZ into the YouTube search, and you can look for us live there. Or if you're having trouble, look for the title AREG Week 1542. And with that, let's go down and say hello to Wade. I noticed he said hi on the YouTube stream there, but we got him on the radio. Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha. Come on in.
Good evening, Chuck. Good evening, all on net. Yeah, I did check in on the YouTube stream and on the radio, so I tend to listen to the simulcast so that I can pick up the stations that I can't hear on the air. But you and Mac are coming in really nicely tonight to my location at home. Congratulations to Mac for his all-time new one, the Atno on that park. And actually, just on the little park page, I see. Kevin, of course, was one of your hunters, but also Toby, and you have the author of one of the POTA books. What's his name? Don Dickey, I think. He'll read back all the times that you contacted him in the past, if you do, especially if you buy his book. Anyways, congratulations. Anyways, hope you had a good one out there. When you found out that the first time out you were in bad solar conditions, and you picked the second time out to have both bad solar conditions and bad weather. So you must be a bear for punishment, but you did it both times. So very good, and it only gets better if you set yourself up that way. Anyways, congratulations nonetheless, and good job. I'll send it back to you, Chuck, via your NCA.
All right, not a problem. We can talk to one-on-one there during the net. That's no problem. Mac, if you have any replies for Mac there, or are you too busy blushing with pride?
Oh, I'm not blushing. I'm bursting in the chest, right? Beating my chest. It hurts. Anyways, thanks, Wade. As usual, the activator wouldn't be able to do very much without the hunter. So certainly appreciate everybody else that was out there and supporting my endeavors. It's all good. A little bit of creative advertising when I posted myself on the POTA app, just to let everybody know that this park has never been activated before. Everybody needs it. Everybody needs it. And I also posted on the POTA Facebook page along the same line. So at least one of the people that I picked up there was watching me on the Facebook page as well. Anyways, that's good for me. I'm going to have to go and put some vegetables in a pot because the beef roast is already beeped from the Instapot. So I'm going to make sure that Mrs. gets her dinner on time, and of course I eat late. Anyways, go ahead and pick up a few more there, Chuck. I'm going to be away from the radio for a couple of minutes, but I'll be back shortly.
Okay, very good. You just made me miss my my slow cooker. When at the other house I used to live there, we had a house fire and had a nice slow cooker. Man, I miss that now that you mentioned that. But anyways, we got an air fryer now though, so still not as good as a slow cooker, but it definitely helps with keeping the smell of oil down in the house instead of having a big pot of oil going there. That smell of oil just sticks to everything in the house. The paint, the curtains, everything. All right, Wade, let's go back to you there, sir. Do you have anything else you're going to stick around with us tonight?
Yeah, I'm certainly going to stick around for the duration, listen along, and be here for the next time my turn comes up. Yeah, I did listen hard for Mac there while he was activating, but then it turned out I was at work and I didn't have my radio, so I didn't quite hear him. But I'll get him next time for sure. With that, I'll send it back to you, Chuck, to pick up a few more and listen along via NCA.
Okay, Mac, very good. Thanks for all that, and we will get back to you. And so tonight I was wondering if anyone else has had any issues with their antennas or with their radio setup, as there are two of us on the net tonight, George, VE3GBD, and myself. George has a power cable to the radio eaten by squirrels or raccoons, who knows, or rats. And I had my G5RV 80 meter antenna come crashing down, as the paracord I used did not like water. So I ordered some good stuff, and once I can get someone to help me put it back up, we're going to use that and a pulley. Oh yeah, I got to order a pulley now. All right. So if anyone else has had any issues with their radios or antennas, we'd love to hear you. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie, Juliet, Zulu. My name is Chuck, and I'm here in the East End of Hamilton looking for check-ins for tonight's AREG net. Please come now.
Great, Chuck.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, howdy. Anyway, I wonder if you've heard Art on their V3KCI.
No, I have not yet. And Mac was just on, so he would have heard Art there. But if you want to give him a shout, maybe you want to turn down the mic gain on your microphone there, Rick, because you're just vibrating my headphones here.
Yeah, okay. How's that? Is that any better?
If you don't raise your voice, it is.
Okay, anyway, yeah, I'm using a desk mic right now. So, anyway, it's level would be too loud. Anyway, I think there's a mic gain on the radio too. I'm not sure where I got that set. I may have turned that up. Anyway, yeah, I heard Mac in there a little while ago, and I heard somebody key up the same time that Mac was keying up, and I wonder if that was Art. Anyway, Mac, have you heard Art at all there? Are you still there? V3IMW, V3BK.
Oh, Mac said he had to step away.
Oh, yeah, okay. He's probably not there. Okay, well, I don't know whether, I guess he's not there. He probably would have keyed up. Anyway, yeah, he's still waiting for his new stuff, and we're going to help set him up there for HF once he gets it there. Somebody went up there and put an antenna in for him, but they used some kind of sticky things so they didn't have to put any holes in a wall, but they're falling down already. Anyway, so what you said about the audio, is it okay now?
Yeah, it's good now, as long as you don't raise your voice or get any closer. And yeah, Rick, if you're going to put sticky stuff of any kind up on your walls or your ceiling, you should always clean the surface first. Not only, use Lysol wipes or whatever, but make sure you run a wet cloth after it, because you'll have the residue of the chemical on there. And I'm not sure if that would help the sticky stuff or not. But always ensure the surface you're trying to stick something to is clean, and you'll get much better results. I know I've got a few rolls of that alien tape, and by golly, that stuff works great if you use it the way they recommend it. And the number one thing they say is to clean the surface. So anybody listening there, that's a free tip for you. Anyways, Rick, back to you.
Well, that is definitely a good point, and I'll bet you they didn't do that. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But I'll bet you they didn't do that. Out at the warplane radio room, we have those sticky things that they're using to hang pictures rather than put a hole in the wall with a nail or whatever.
Yeah.
And a few times those have fallen off, and I'll bet you it's the same reason. After a while, probably a little bit of grease or something on the paint there. And I heard you talking about that with the oil, and oil gets on everything. And I think too, if you have a smoker in a house, that's the same thing too. You get some kind of a film on there, and it doesn't work too good. But anyway, that's a good suggestion there, Chuck. Anyway, I shall stand by, and I'll be on the side of this B3BK. And thanks for letting me in again there, Chuck. Over. Oh, by the way, I tried Reg, and he's not around.
Okay, then. Very good. Well, when you do speak to him there, Rick, please tell him I wish him all the best, and I can't wait to speak to him again next time. All right, Rick, we'll clear with VE3 Bravo Kilowatt and see if anyone else is out there would like to join us here on this week's edition of the Amateur Radio Exchange Group, AREG. This is VA3 CJZ looking for check-ins. Please come now.
Victor Alpha 3, X-ray Lima Juliet.
Hey, there's someone I haven't heard in ages. Oh, glad to hear you're still around there, Vanya. VA3XLJ, come on in.
Oh yeah, I'm still kicking and screaming, mainly screaming. I just woke up actually. I had a nice meal after I got home today after work, and put my head down on a pillow, and next thing I know, it's 8 o'clock and like 57 text messages on the cell phone. I don't know what's happened today. Like people keep texting, but I didn't touch the radio for like a little while now, so really it's just day-to-day stuff. Like it's kind of I wouldn't say it's overwhelming, but it does kind of comes up in a very odd time. So I have to deal with the things when I would be rather doing other stuff, but it is what it is. Anyways, how's Chuck doing?
Hey there, Vanya. Yeah, well, you know what? What you just mentioned there, I'm kind of going through the same over here, but a couple more weeks and things should be different. And we'll be able to concentrate on things a little bit more. But without getting into it and airing all my dirty laundry with everyone, we'll just leave it at that. But my G5RV fell down, Vanya. I used crappy paracord that doesn't like water, and so I had to go and buy some better stuff. But I'm still left with the problem of needing someone to climb my tower and to put it back up. So we're going to work on that after Easter weekend here, because I don't expect anyone to be doing any sort of thing like that this weekend. So yeah, but I did have a spare antenna. I had a G5RV Junior, which only goes up to 40 meters, but nonetheless, I was able to put it up 15 feet. And for now, until I can get a couple of poles and put it up higher. But for now, we've got a foot and a half, 2 feet of ladder line laying on the ground right up against the fence there. It's not a big issue. And so it seems to be working fine. I have not checked 10 meters yet on it, but I've checked most all the other bands on it. And it receives perfect. But I don't know about 10 meters yet, though. We'll try that one. So, word of advice, when you're going to use rope for outside for long periods of time, make sure you get good stuff. Or you'll have things like what happened to me happen to you. Back to you there, Vanya.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not any better. I actually use it's a synthetic rope of some kind, but it's closely resembled the paracord on on the side where the balloon is for my end fed, and only thing what I did, I taped как сказать, I taped it quite a bit, so there is nothing with the black tape, with the electrical tape, so there is nothing that there's no cord like directly exposed to the sun or water, so it might get soaked, but I'm hoping it won't. And what I did, I doubled up, so if one let go, like other one is just a slightly longer. So if the one under tension breaks, like the second one is gonna give me like I would assume same amount of time. So and I just kind of done that. Like I'm really sorry that your antenna came down. Like and that's a bummer. You know what? It is especially like if you lose like basically your antenna is resembles the dipole of, and if your centerpiece came down, that's just like I wouldn't say lots of work, but it's not good. With my end fed, like I'm gonna still be able to use at least first half of antenna, I guess. So I'm gonna be like you, like 40 to 10, but it's okay. I had the 40 to 10 at the very beginning and staple to the shingles, and it worked just fine, to be honest. So,
Yeah.
but for some reason I wanted 80 meters, and I strung up the longer one. And honest to God, like I used 80 meters like 10 times altogether, but I guess it's working. So I'm sorry to hear that for your G5RV, but just tough it out for a little while until you find solution for the longer antenna, like soon when the nicer weather comes.
Yeah, a lot of it, um, Vanya, will depend on, of course, you're getting someone else to help you out. So nicer weather, of course, and I have to get a pulley because the pulley I had for that one. Uh, Actually, no, I didn't use. I wasn't using a pulley. We were using a not a pulley, but the rope was behind something, so it would kind of act like a pulley. But regardless, if your rope snaps, well, you're screwed. And so, well, we'll make do with 40. You're right, though. I don't use 80 meters very much, but it's always nice to be able to click it over to 80 and uh, and talk to whoever or try to whoever you want. So, but yeah, we'll make do with what we got there, Vanya. So, are you sticking around with us tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in the basement until net is finished. So yeah, I'm gonna be here.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. So we'll clear with VA3XLJ and see if Rick, VA3AXJ, is there. Are you there, Rick?
Yeah, I think I got that problem fixed here. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was trying to do some work today outside, but kind of let down with all the weather. So but the back's feeling better, and I don't want to push it too much, but want to get some stuff done.
Yeah, that's my issue. My back and my legs have no strength anymore. Um, and so I can't climb. And I would rather, I would have just run up myself. But if I'm not physically capable, then, I don't want to end up in the ER or worse. You never know, right? But yeah, we'll get somebody with a climbing harness or a belt even or something. But you need a belt on this tower. The rungs for the feet there, Rick, they're 19 and a quarter inches apart. So if you take a tape measure, go up against the wall and try and lift your foot off the ground, 19 and a quarter inches, and tell me how easy it is. If you're under 6 feet, it's not easy.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. My tower is probably the same as yours. There's 3 sections up. As far as antenna problems, I've had no problems at all with my antennas. They're still standing straight. Maybe a little bit of a lean on the one on the back of the garage, but that's up pretty high. But other than that, I got no problems here at all.
All right, very good, Rick. Glad to hear someone's having success. All right, Rick, you gonna stick around? I was just checking to make sure your antenna coax and all that was copacetic, and it sounds like it is.
Yeah, I'll be here for at least another hour anyhow. And I gotta go and fight with the bank tomorrow, and yeah, that friggin' what do you call that place? Amazon. I've got about 13 purchases on my card, which not mine. So you got to text into them, and they're going to text. Well, they text you back, and they're going to reimburse me for 4 items, and decline the card on that account.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that. Hope everything gets cleared up for you there, Rick. All right, so we're going to move along and get back to you in a bit there, Rick. And so I'd like to take this opportunity to say, whoever's listening on YouTube there, good evening. And good evening, Michael, KI5SPA, down in Arkansas. What's the weather like tonight there, Mike? It's, what is it here? It's 43 degrees Fahrenheit here, and it's raining off and on. And so, yeah, it's, and that is 6 degrees Celsius. And so I've got 6.4 outside here, the CJZ studio. They said we're not going down below 5 tonight. So it's going to be a fairly nice evening. Maybe open your window in the bedroom. All right. So let's see if anyone else is out there would like to join us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is week 1,542 weeks consecutive that AREG has been on the air. And so let's see if anyone out there would like to check in. VA3 CJZ, please come now.
Victor Echo 3, November Whiskey, ARPAD.
Another whiskey brother, Victor Echo 3, November Whiskey. That's got a nice ring to it. Come on in, Arpad.
Yeah. I'm going to have to buy some whiskey and try it out. As I mentioned earlier to Rick, I never tried it. Never tried whiskey yet. But yeah, I heard you guys, you were talking about the rope. The rope came down and whatnot, the parachute, what you use. Yeah, the rope what you want, I looked it up on the website. It's called the Dextron. And the Dacron, D-A-C-R-O-N. That's how you spell it, D-A-C-R-O-N. And they have different thicknesses, sizes, 1/8, 3/16, 5/16, and a 1/2 inch. And for example, probably what you're looking for is a 3/16 size. It's good for 1,300 pounds. Now, this is made by DuPont. You know the company called DuPont, and that rope never ever going to break on you. Number one, and UV resistant and stuff like that. And the 3/16, 25 feet is $5.75. So 275 feet, $63 US. 275 feet. So you can buy different size of rolls, and you can pick whatever you want. But apparently, that's what I heard. That's the best rope, and you never have to replace it.
Yeah, way ahead of you there, Arpad. I found that out myself there, and we're just trying to find a decent site. Let's see, for 100 foot on Amazon, I can get it for $27. 100 feet, 3/16 black Dacron polyester rope. So that's what I'm ordering.
Yeah, and you never going to have that issue because I know I did use parachute cords. They are good for maybe up to 6 months or so. After 6 months, they're just falling apart. so try not to use. But I have a 11 element 2 meter beam, and actually, you know what I use? I needed some kind of like to make it a little bit stronger, so I use to support. I was going to use some kind of rope, and I looked it up what would be the best, and I was suggested to use what's the name? Weed whacker line. Those are UV resistant, and it's sitting there for years and years and years, and it's sitting, never came down. So yeah, that would be another option. Weed whacker line.
Oh yeah. That's right. That's pretty tough stuff. All right. Well, thanks for that. A little bit of information there, Arpad. We're definitely considering all our options. But like I said, I'm just waiting for the Easter weekend to finish, and then see if I can find a climber. Yeah, for now we just make do with 40 meters and down or up, however you look at it. And yeah, it's working fine. It's sitting 15 feet at the apex, and the ladder line is 17 feet. And so I've got 2 feet sticking out from the bottom of at the fence, and so it's not in the way of anything. It's just fine, and it's working. So yeah.
All right, Chuck. Thank you very much for taking my call, and you guys have a good night. Kathy just put a movie in, so I guess movie times comes for us. And you guys have a good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, very good. Send all my best to the missus, Kathy, and enjoy your movie night. So we'll clear with Victor Echo 3, November Whiskey. Anyone else out there wishing to join us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3CJZ. My name is Chuck, and I'm here in the east end of Hamilton, looking for check-ins.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform.
All right, nice, strong audio and signal, but there's a bit of a hum in there. VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. Tomasz, come on in.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net. Yeah, I got this thing plugged in because the battery's dead on it. I'm using my old radio here. I don't know what type of signal I'm giving you, but yeah, I got one of those 2-meter special sticks. It's a very, very long one for 2 meters.
Well, it's doing a good job there from your location down here to the center mall across the lake. I've got you at 10 over S9 there, Tomasz. How are things at work and at home?
Oh, everything seems to be pretty good here. We're still we're basically almost cleaned up. We lost our cat there earlier this week, so other than that, still working away with the buses. And, yeah, just hoping for the warm weather to come.
Yeah, you and me both, my friend. You and me both. I'm starting to get some cabin fever there, so every now and again, I just go outside and hang out on the porch, have some coffee and a cigarette or what have you, and it's that time again. You know, I lost my dog in November after 13 years, and so I was kind of lost, because we used to go outside and sit on the porch every single day. And this winter, well, after he died, I did it till about Christmas time, and then I just stopped. And so now I'm finding myself heading back outside again. And so I just want to say my condolences there, Tom. It's tough losing a pet.
Yeah, the cat was almost 19 years old, but I mean, it was getting sick all the time in the house. Every day it was getting sick. Every day it was, couldn't hold its bladder, and we finally just decided one day we said, just take it up. And they said that there's not really much that they could do. I mean, we could have kept the cat, but we can't just keep it suffering like that. It's just not fair on the animal, and time to move on.
Oh yeah, I agree. You don't know how difficult it was for me to tell the vet to go ahead and give the injection there to my dog because he was throwing up all the time. He couldn't eat, couldn't drink. I mean, it was horrible. So it's tough. That was my first time, first dog. I've had plenty of cats. Actually, a house I used to own there, I think I buried 2 cats there and a bird. And so, yeah, yeah. Well, I hope you guys find something else that makes you happy and gives you lots of loving.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be doing that. We wanted to start traveling now because we haven't been traveling too much. So, yeah, I'm getting closer to the retirement age now, and yeah, we just want to be free to be able to do what we want. And no, it's a good almost 19 years, and yeah, that's at least we got to have one pet in the house. Other than that, Chuck, nothing else to report from this end. I'm going to be going to bed shortly there. I got to wake up at 4:30 a.m. as usual. So thanks for doing the net, and we'll just be listening along for a few minutes and then hit the hay there. So have yourself a good evening there, Chuck. VA3CJZ, VE3CEO.
Okay, Tomas, thanks for checking in, sir. And as always, you can listen to yourself on the YouTube live stream. It is now 8:46 p.m. There is a clock on my stream, and if you probably go to 8:44, 8:45, you'll be able to hear yourself. So other than that, my friend, yeah, have a good night's rest there, and be safe, my friend. We'll talk to you again soon. And so we'll clear with Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform. And let's see, anyone else out there would like to join us? This is VA3CJZ with the Amateur Radio Exchange Group, AREG. My name is Chuck, and I'm here in the East End of Hamilton, and we're looking for your check-ins. Please come now.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot.
And there's my shadow. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot. Always ahead of me or behind me on the Wednesday morning Trans-Canada IRLP net there. Good evening, Vern. Come on in.
Good evening, Chuck. Nice to hear you on the air. I won't be on for long. I'm actually mobile right now. I'm driving up Waterdown Road towards Waterdown from Aldershot Station, hoping you can copy me well.
Absolutely there, Vern. You're flickering from full strength down to maybe 40. So good signal here.
Yeah, it looks like it's finally stopped raining. I don't think we're done yet. We'll probably get some more rain tonight. But it's a little foggy up here as well. I don't know if you've got the fog down there, Chuck.
Well, I'm looking outside at my security camera. I don't see much, but they did give a warning about that earlier in the day, actually before all the rain started. And so I don't know if that's still in effect, but yeah, I'm sure. It's warm out there. It's 6.6 degrees outside my location. And so we're not supposed to get any colder than +5 tonight.
Yeah, I was checking Environment Canada. It looks like the temperature's going up overnight. Right now, where I'm driving, temperature's 9 outside the car. And I don't know if you did, but when it was raining this aft, we got some hail as well. It was really coming down.
Yeah, I can't say as I actually watched the whole thing, but I don't think I saw any hail here. But regardless, it's that time of the year, I'd say we're a couple of weeks behind. We should be a little bit warmer with not so much rain. But if you look around the world, man, there's tons of rain everywhere. Cities are getting flooded out, and it's horrible, the natural disasters happening all over the place. And I forget how many, 800 and some odd inches of snow in California. That's insane.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, I lived there for 2 years in the Sacramento area, and it snowed once and did not stay on the ground.
Yeah. I lived in Ontario, just east of LA there, and during the winter time, one winter, and it got chilly at night, but whenever it rained, the next morning you would see snow on the mountain peaks there. It was lovely, but I never saw snow. Anyways, Vern, we'll let you continue on with your driving. I just want to say thanks for checking in, my friend, and nice to hear you out and about, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good, Chuck. Thanks for picking me up. Hope that you have a good rest of the evening and a good weekend, which is coming up soon.
Absolutely. Happy Easter. If we don't speak, I completely forgot. It's Easter weekend. And next weekend will be the Ontario QSO party. And so I might as well take this opportunity to mention all the contests that are upcoming. And so we'll go to the contestcalendar.com website. And for this weekend, we've got, for single sideband, we've got the OK, I don't know if that's Oklahoma, OMDX contest. That's for sideband. We have the Digital QSO party. That's on CW. There's the New Mexico QSO party. And then we have the Georgia QSO party and the Yuri Gagarin International DX contest. Now that's for sideband and CW, and that includes satellites as well as 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. So again, the Yuri Gagarin International DX contest, and that'll be 2100 Zulu, April 8th until 2059 Zulu, April 9th. So there's the Hungarian Straight Key contest. That looks like it's on for about an hour. And there's a bunch of other little ones there. But if you want to get more information, please type in contest calendar. That's one word, .com. And you can find all your contest information then there. And remember, the Ontario QSO party will be next weekend. So get ready, whatever you have to do to get ready for that. That's plenty of warning. All right. And just want to say hello to another check-in on YouTube. We have Nathaniel, Victor Echo 3, Hotel Whiskey November. Just traveled back from the Northwest. Missed a huge snowstorm. Well, count yourself lucky because other people got it. Nathaniel, welcome to the net. We're here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. and streaming on YouTube. So we'll add VE3HWN into our logbook. And again, welcome Nathaniel and everyone else listening. And so let's do another call out and see who wants to be number 14 on our list. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, looking for check-ins for this evening's Amateur Radio Exchange Group. Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Like I mentioned before, it's a lovely 6.5 degrees outside the CJZ studio. And the Weather Network is almost right on par. It says that it's 6, feeling like 6, with a few raindrops coming out of this cloud. And the wind is from the south at 4 kilometers, gusting to 6. So very quiet evening. And so tomorrow we're looking for a high of 11. So, okay. So, well, if no one wants to check in at the moment, we can always start off with on this day with people's birthdays in history. By the way, on this day in history has been I've been doing on this day for 110 weeks. So we're looking at on this day 110. And today's famous birthdays, we start off with an old black and white movie actor, Spencer Tracy. He's been in countless movies. He was born on this day in 1900, and he passed away in 1967. Speaking of celebrities, let's go to Betty Davis. Did you know Betty Davis is older than sliced bread? Someone brought that up on Facebook once. So yeah, Betty Davis was born in 1908 on this day. And it says here she passed away in 1989. I'm thinking of Betty White. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's it. But regardless, she's got Betty Davis eyes. Well, she was born on this day in 1908, passed away in 89. There we go. We got it straight now. And again, sticking with movie celebrities, Gregory Peck was born on this day in 1916, passed away in 2003. Of course, he's another actor, and he was born in San Diego, California. And so we move on to the next person with a birthday. And this is a gentleman that I actually met. He's actually the Riddler in the original Batman series, Frank Gorshin. He was born on this day in 1933. Sadly passed in 2005. I met him while working at the Royal Canal Hotel in 1993, I think it was. Frank Gorshin was doing stand-up comedy at Yuck Yucks. And I got to share a cigarette with him outside the hotel. Very nice man. Very nice man. Born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. All right, that's it for celebrities. Now let's move on to Colin Powell. He was born on this day in 1937, passed away just 2 years ago in 2021. He's the American General and first Black U.S. Secretary of State, and that's from 2001 to 2005, and that's during Desert Storm type era. Born in Harlem, New York City. Happy birthday. Oh, no, he's, in heaven now. And that's it for birthdays of famous people today in history. So let's go back up to the top of the list then. But first, we'll see if anyone else is out there that would like to check in. Please come now. This is VA3 CJZ with this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group. Okay, nothing heard. So let's go to Rick, VE3 Bravo Kilo. Are you still there, Rick?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just listening in line. And that's about it. I don't even know what you're talking about. So, but I do have the radio on, and we're listening. So good evening to everybody there, and back to Net Control.
Oh, my God, Rick, you almost made me fall off my chair. You just said that you don't have anything else to say. So we're going to have to put that quote down on this day in history. Rick had nothing else to say. Okay, very good then. So we'll clear with VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. And earlier before the net, we had Paul, VE3 PDL, check in. Good evening, Paul. If you're busy or listening, that's fine. And so did Sean, VE3 FNI. Good evening, Sean, and all listening on YouTube. So let's go back up to VA3 AXJ and see how his back is doing lately.
Last time I checked, Chuck, I still got it. Hasn't left me yet, but yeah, it's feeling a lot better. That last week was just hell. I couldn't hardly move at all. I started getting back into swing the things, and had to just kind of watch what I'm doing from now on, because I don't want to end back up like that again for a while. It just makes you so miserable, and you don't want to do nothing.
Yep, absolutely. Stand by for a second there, Rick. I think I heard a short in there just as you were starting to talk. I believe that was Mac there. That's short. Go ahead.
Roger that. VA3 KCI is online, and perhaps BK can relay for him. Art, are you still with us?
No, I don't hear him.
All right. Well, your building's generating lots of noise. VE3BK, are you on frequency? Oh my goodness gracious. He was there and then he was gone. Anyways, Art, so what's up? You got some noise to deal with, but nonetheless, you're hearing me loud and clear, Roger? All right. So how's things going in your world? Radio working okay? Any HF contacts? Has Rick come in to help set up a HF antenna for you?
No, no good. Yeah.
Roger that. Welcome to the 7100 Club. I'm sure you're going to love that radio. I'm using that one right now. Okay, are you going to stick around for a bit, or are you got other things to do and places to go and people to see? QSL. We're all going to do that. We're all going to close our eyes at some point in time and go to sleep. But as for me, I'm sticking around with Chuck until 10 o'clock when he shuts down and puts out the garbage and has the smoke. And anyways, anything else for Chuck? Any special message? Roger. Yep. And the coats come off and the skirts get shorter. Yeah, shirts get shorter. And yep. Thanks for popping in and saying hello to us. Let me just check with Chuck and see if he's got any questions for you. Go ahead, CJZ.
That's right. Check-ins with Chuck. Well, I'm sorry we can't hear Art and Rick appeared to have stepped away from his radio. And so I heard that Art has bought another radio. Is that true?
That's correct. He's ordered a 7100, and he's going to become a proud member of the ICOM family.
Well. Well, please pass on my congratulations to Art, and can't wait to have him working HF and all that other fun stuff with the new ICOM.
Roger that. So, Art, Chuck is congratulating you on the purchase of a new radio, and can't wait to hear you on the radio and making contacts on HF with the 7100. QSL?
Mm.
Okay, thanks, Art. So it's Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey. It's Mac. And thanks for sticking around with us tonight. Certainly looking forward to you getting your new radio delivered and perhaps some positive experiences with it. Okay, Chuck, I won't hold it up any further. I'll turn it back to you, and thanks for letting me break in there with Art.
All right, absolutely there, Mac. Thank you very much for the relay. And I'm not sure if I heard another station in there with a comment or a break in there, but if there is, please come now. This is VA3 CJZ.
Opportunity has arisen, VE3LBI.
Ah, there we go. VE3LBI. Larry, come on in. How's things?
No problem. No, all good. I'm not sure what you were doing. I just kind of got here and I heard you said that. So if you're running down the list, go ahead. I'll pick up at the tail end.
Yeah, well, we're just doing the second round right now, but not an issue. Larry, the question I had for everyone this evening, because I had a failure with my G5 RV early in the week on Monday there. I was wondering if anybody else had any issues with the high winds and or radio equipment malfunctions there. Everything good with you?
No, had a problem with the fan dipole. The match kept jumping on it. I wasn't sure why. Anyways, long story short, what it was is the one-to-one trap trap at the top. The short piece of coax that was up there. Once I pulled it apart, I found it was corroded. Either one of the both ends of the PL259. So I removed it and just put in a male-to-male PL259, and it seems to have corrected the problem. But I don't know whether it was the wind was causing some of it, but I must have gotten some moisture in somehow.
Yeah, excuse me. Okay. Something with my throat there. But anyways, yeah, that was my issue, Larry. Water destroyed the paracord that I was using. And because I didn't have a long enough piece of the good stuff, I used both the older and the good stuff, hoping the bad part wouldn't break. But sure enough, the bad section snapped. And so now I just bought some Dacron rope there, and we're going to put that up when I find someone who can climb for me with a harness or a belt.
You sounded okay today, working Pierre, and I heard you work Mac, so everything sounded okay up this way. I mean, like your audio sounded good, and it looked like I still had a good signal on you. Obviously, we're not that far apart, so it's still working for you anyways.
Well, that's because I got a G5RV Junior that I put up about 15 feet off the ground, as opposed to my 80 meter full length G5RV up around closer to 40 feet. So yeah, that one still needs to be repaired. But like I said, I had a spare. I had a Junior, and I put that up. I got a piece of wood up along with a piece of white PVC pipe there, and that's going to have to do for now until I get a couple of poles from Lowe's, a couple of top rail fence poles there.
Okay, yeah, I got what you're talking about. Yeah. Now, by the way, I don't know whether I found out about this not too long ago. I guess Lowe's is changing its name. It's now going to become Rona.
What? I thought Lowe's bought Rona. Or, huh? Okay, that's interesting.
Lowe's is in trouble in Canada, and they've been taken over by, I don't think they're what to classify as a creditor. Let's put it this way, a management team to try to get them out of trouble. So my only thought was changing the name back to Rona. Rona has always been Canadian. It's not more, obviously, because you're right. It was bought by Lowe's, which is U.S.-based. Would be kind of put the idea back in people's heads that it's Canadian-owned and it's Rona, and we'll shop there more. Anyways, yeah, that's something that was kind of interesting. They're actually changing the name over to Rona.
Okay, that's interesting because you were right. That was what I was thinking, and you're absolutely right. Marketing-wise, Canadians remember the old Rona stores, and love them for the most part, just like home hardware. Only home hardware didn't seem to be big enough for some people for their needs. So Rona, yeah, along with a couple of other places there. Geez, I remember Beaver Lumber. But yeah, I think it's going to work. It'd be sad to see them go the same way that Target had to shut down, but yeah, let's hope it works.
Comment.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Go ahead, Mac.
Yeah, the way I heard it was home hardware was buying out the Canadian stores and amalgamating with Rona. So yes, the Lowe's name may take a back seat in Canada, but I thought it was home hardware that was taking over their stores and their assets.
Home hardware?
QSL. I'll look it up online, but that's what I read. Anyways, send it back to Larry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. See if you could find something about. I didn't think home hardware would be that big enough to be able to afford Lowe's, but no, if you can, yeah, please check that out. I'd be really interested in that. But I did like what happened was I was listening to CFTR either late last week or whatever, and they were saying they were changing the name from the Lowe's over to Rona. So, anyways, yeah, if you can, Mac, it'd be kind of interesting. All right, I'm going to pass it back to Chuck there. You're passing it down. Anyways, antenna problem, yes. $3.50 fix. Hoisted it back up and matches good on the antenna. I got to drop it back down again. It was kind of cold when I actually had put the stretchable fiber or silicone tape on it. So it had to be dried and redone, obviously, with all the rain we've had. So, all right, back to you, Chuck. Thanks for picking me up.
Yeah, that darn water. It's tough. It's tough to beat water. Okay, Larry, thank you very much for checking in with us. We were talking with Rick, and I think this might be his 7-3 round, but let's go back up to Rick and see if he has anything else to say. Victor Alpha 3, Alpha X-Ray Juliet.
I'm still here, Chuck. I'm just got the CNN on here. Finding what Donald Trump's going to do next. A circus. I'm telling you, nothing but a circus. But yeah, I have nothing much more to say. I'm just going to probably, I'll have it on. I'll be listening. If I call me back, I'll certainly key back up. Back to you.
All right, very good, Rick. We shall do that. So let's go down the list. The next person is George, VE3 GBD on the portable.
I'm here on the Bullfang. Hate this radio.
Yeah, I bet, especially when you got a good one sitting right next to you there, not too far away. But you'll be back up there, George, in no time. Have you placed an order? Have you got plans to pick up this cable, or what's going on?
No, I haven't done anything. To be honest, everybody says, "Oh, maybe use the phone cable. That might work." I don't have a phone cable. I asked my neighbor, and then he forgot. So I don't know. I haven't got anything yet.
All right, George, remember, only you can make it happen. So it's up to you to make it happen. So good luck with that, George. It's not that difficult. You just need to give yourself a kick in the, where, and say, do I want to keep talking on this beautiful Bofang, or do I want my radio back? Roger?
Yeah, no, this Bofang's a POS. In my opinion, because I got it hooked up to the antenna outside, Place of POS. I can't hear. Half the people I can't hear.
Yeah, I know. Well, try turning the squelch down a little bit on it. Just click on menu, and I think it's the first item that comes up, squelch. Other than that, there, George, you would probably have to go to the YouTube and put in VA3CJZ, and you could hear everyone just fine right there. All right, George, thanks for sticking around with us there. Hopefully, it won't be raining by the time I bring the garbage out. And it looks like we're pretty much done with significant rain there for the evening, I think. I hope, anyways. All right, George, anything else to add before we continue on down the list?
Oh, no. I was going to say something, but I forget. So, yeah, no. Yeah, this radio is, like I said, this radio is a POS. Both ends? Yeah, I don't like it. Don't like it at all.
Comment.
Yeah, POS. I hear you, George. And I hear a comment in there. Go ahead, comment.
Oh, Victor Alpha 3, November Foxtrot Golf there. How you doing, Chuck and everybody on net? Hey, let's not forget, going back to the Rona thing, before it was Rona, it was Cashway.
Yeah.
Location, Nebo and 53, and the bottom of Parkdale North, across from Mars Avenue? Anyway, Cashway. Whatever happened to them?
Comment.
Go ahead.
Before Cashway, it was actually Hamilton Lumber.
Is that right? That was before Cashway?
Yes, sir. Right at the corner up there. The one downtown was Hamilton Lumber, and the one up here in the mountain was Hamilton Lumber.
Okay, well, hey, there's a brain twister there for you. I never even Hamilton Lumber. No, I can't recall that one. I recall Beaver at Wentworth and Fennel.
Yeah.
And I think that was it. And then Cashway came around. I don't even remember Hamilton Lumber, but okay, I'll believe you.
Yep. There's a house out on Grimsby Road on Casablanca Boulevard, all built with Hamilton Lumber, wood and nails, because I remember it.
Wow. Okay. Well, that must be going back a little bit there. I was probably when Cashway changed over. I think I don't know. I think I was 14 or 15 years old.
Trying to think how old I would have been, because I helped build the house out there, my brother's house. Anyways, just a comment. And I do have to step away for about 5 minutes, just in case back runs across something. I'll be back very, very shortly. VE3, I'm going to pass it back to Chuck. Go ahead.
All right, very good then, Larry. Thank you very much for jumping in there with all that information. And Steve, I'm a Beaver Lumber kind of guy. I stayed with someone a block away from that location. And that was 1990. So that's how far back I go.
Are you telling me there was a Beaver Lumber in 1990?
At what was it, Wentworth and Fennel? Yep. There was a Harvey's kitty corner there.
Yeah, I remember the Harveys. I don't even know if that's still there or not. I don't think it is. I think that turned into Pipe Eyes.
Yeah, gosh, I haven't been down that way in ages, so I couldn't tell you. But yeah, Beaver Lumber was the big building at the corner there, and so remember it well. Green and yellow was the sign.
I couldn't even picture what the sign looks like. I remember the Cashway sign. It was yellow with the big letters, Cashway.
Yeah, exactly. And the Beaver Lumber was, of course, green, and the Beaver was brown. And so there was green and yellow, I think. But anyways, yeah, that's ages ago, 33 years ago now.
Well, they want people to shop because it's Canadian. They ought to, you know, they ought to bring back one of those old names. You know, Cashaway or Beaver Lumber. That would bring the Canadians in there to shop. That's for sure.
Yeah, the only thing is, though, that would only bring the seniors in, all the last of the baby boomers, the new crowd now. Rona, though, Rona's a good idea to change the name over there. Did you hear that? Rona is now going to be called, I'm sorry, Lowe's is changing its name to Rona.
Yeah, well, I was in there last week or a couple weeks ago getting cabinets. You know, comparing with where I work, you know, I thought the place was deserted. You know, I'm like, wow, there's like nobody here. Like it's quiet in there.
All you can hear is the birds eating all the bird seed.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, well, cabinets for 25% off, so, and they're better quality than some orange box stores sell for. So that's where I went, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
All right, very good, Steve. What was I going to say? Yeah, we were just going down the list, and thank you for checking in, sir. We are at check-in number 17 now. Plus, well, not plus, but that includes 2 check-ins from the YouTube live stream. We have Michael from Arkansas, KI5SPA, which usually stops in and says hello to Arpad on his net. And so welcome, Michael. And we have Nathaniel, VE3HWN, checking in. And so good evening to you and everyone else who's listening. And I see a response here from Michael regarding the weather. We like to compare weather. We had 40 something degrees. He has 70 in Arkansas right now. So about 21.1 degrees Celsius. And of course, going to delay planting on Good Friday. Yeah, some of us are a little bit behind as far as springtime goes. We're usually a couple of weeks behind, but that's how it goes. Anyways, Steve, anything else before we continue on down the list there? All right, I guess not. And so let's go back to the list and see if Mac is with us. VA3IMW. Up to you, sir. Well, that is a nice S9 signal. A little bit of noise, but no vocals. You should try getting your ham ticket there and start talking as well as keying up. So nice job on the signal. Sorry about your voice. So VA3IMW one more time. All right. How about Wade out in Dundas, Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha?
Good evening, Chuck. Yeah.
No, is this me, Chuck? VA3XLJ?
I find out that if anybody's looking for Delaware for POTA, our very own James from Barrie, he is down there now. It sounds like he got to his base station, base position there, the campground, for the upcoming Delaware Rove. So he's on 40 meters right now, and I just got him at the campground he's at. So that's one more Delaware location I can strike off my list. So anyways, he's coming in strong on 40 meters from Delaware. So for reminders to everybody, maybe this is similar, not exactly, but similar to contest information.
VA3 CJZ, VA3 XLJ. Can anybody hear the Chuck or just me?
Again, starting at Friday.
Stand by, Vanya.
So they asked
Oh, apologize, Chuck. Okay.
them, only reach them on parks you need. And so, with getting him now, I guess I can strike one more off my list of Delaware parks that I need. Anyways, just still listen along, Chuck. Thanks again for doing it, and enjoying listening along. So I'll send it back to you, VA3NCA.
All righty then. Yeah, catch those parks in between the AREG and POTA there. Good for you. And by the way, Vanya, you're not up. Actually, you're up now, Vanya. But before you, it was Wade out in Dundas, VA3 NCA. I guess you couldn't hear him. But if you were on the YouTube stream, you could hear him. Anyways, thank you, Wade, for all that information about the Delaware parks on 40 meters at the moment. So let's swing over to the other end of town and bring in Vanya, VA3XLJ. Come on in.
Oh, I apologize because the only thing what I hear was A at the end, and the volume was very low. I was listening something else. I was watching about video about water on the moon, trapped in some crystals or whatever it is. So anyways, so only thing what I could catch was A, and I thought it was my turn. But anyways, yeah, I mean, there's not much to add. Like what we were talking about antennas, so they are still holding up. So far, so good. And the Rona Kashfe and all that stuff, like that was before my time. Like when I came in '98, there was a Rona. So I don't remember them. I just do remember what the gentleman I work with, he kept telling me for the Volco and I can't remember what's the other side, the Beaver store. But anyways, so those are what we have now is pretty much what I have. What we have now is what I know. But what I find out with the home hardware, they do actually all the odd stuff which you might need, and I more often go straight to the home hardware than to the Home Depot if I need the fasteners or anything like hard stuff like that. They'll most likely have it.
Yep, that's true. And if you don't like going and walking a kilometer inside one of those big stores like Lowe's and Home Depot, just go to Home Hardware. The stores are small, but they're crammed full of stuff, and it's easy to find. Everything is always within 10 feet. I know the one on Barton Street there. I love that store, but man, is it ever tight in there? You can't have more than 2 customers in there at a time, it seems. Maybe 3. But yeah, you're absolutely right there, Vanya. So yeah, it's still a good place to shop at there, that Home Hardware. And it's sometimes you don't want to take the car. You just hop on your bike, take a ride down there. That's not too far. Yeah. So nice Canadian store, still in business. Not too many of them left. Not just hardware stores, any Canadian stores. So yeah, Zellers is apparently making a comeback. We'll have to wait and see how that works out.
IMW.
Hey, IMW, you're back.
Yeah, Roger. I know I missed my turn. I was up in the kitchen pulling the beef roast out of the pressure cooker. So sorry about that. Anyways, I was not able to find anything further on home hardware becoming a controlling force in taking over the Lowe's. So I'm not sure whether I mixed up my news items or whether that was just a rumor that was a brief spurt in the news and disappeared. However, just a quick note about home hardware. They do cater to their local appetite. So if you've ever been out in the rural areas in Ontario, you'll find that the home hardware store will carry products that are in demand in their particular area. and they are a franchise, which is also similar to Canadian Tire. So that franchise store has the ability to include or exclude content. So there are a number, quite a large number of home hardware stores that still carry lumber and building stuff. I think the most well-stocked store that I've ever seen is still up in St. Jacobs. You'd walk inside and think you were already in a Home Depot store, but with better quality material. But the reason I think that Home Hardware has survived is because they've made a connection with the local consumer to make sure that they're carrying the products for that local region that is in demand. Anyways, sorry I missed my spot, and I'm back and listening until the end.
All right. Well, thank you for all that information, Mac. And welcome back, Mac. Okay, continuing down the list. Who do we have next here? We already did Vanya on NW. He's watching a movie. Tomas is gone, I do believe. Vern, I don't know. VA3 CRF. Vern, you still there?
Hey, Chuck, don't give up on me. I'm still here. I'm in the house now, though, not mobile. And I don't know about down there, but it's really foggy up here. I'm close to one of the water towers, and normally you can see it clearly, and today, right now, you can hardly see it at all.
Oh, okay. Well, you have a better vantage point than I do. I'm sitting in my basement looking at my outdoor security camera, so that's the best I can do, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it wasn't really that foggy down in Aldershot, and then, driving up Waterdown Road, it kind of picked up, and then now in our neighborhood, it was kind of like what it was earlier today, as you said, before the rain came. Don't really have much to add, just been listening along, and I appreciate you doing the net. Back to you, VA3 CRF.
Okay, very good then. Well, you're doing a really good job. 10 over S9 here at my location. And if you so choose to listen back on the YouTube live stream, it is now 9:33 p.m. It just turned. So if you go to 9:31, you'll probably be able to hear yourself. All you do is put in VA3CJZ in the YouTube search box, and you can look for us live tonight or under the title AREG Week 1542. But anyways, Vern, great job. Good signal. Just a slight bit of noise with you. But from your location to mine, we can communicate no problem. So you enjoy the rest of the evening, Vern. Thank you so much for being there, because I have so many people that only check in and take off. And so glad to still have you aboard.
Thanks, Chuck. I'll be listening for a little while longer.
All right. Very good. Well, not to pass anyone, if Mac is still there, maybe you can see if Art is still with us, or if he went and turned the radio off.
Roger that. I can take care of that little task. VA3KCI. Art, are you still with us? Yeah, you sound like a spring chicken. Well, it is spring, and don't be chicken. What's on tap for this week? You're going to go out and sit on the bus stop and watch the young ladies go by? Oh, batteries for the wheelchair. Again? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, wow.
It sounds like it's only been a year since you've been doing the battery replacement, QSL.
Oh, my. That's terrible.
Okay. So your batteries are giving you an inference on your overall weight, right? You know what? I really don't want to know. It's probably more expensive than the battery I have in my truck. All right, Chuck, it sounds like KCI is on the hunt for replacement batteries for his wheelchair all over again. And as you can remember, about a year ago, he was maybe a year and a half ago, I think, maybe struggling to find the right way to get those batteries paid for and so on. Sounds like his current battery setups they're not lasting very long. Anyways, Art, you're back with a price list, Roger.
Oh, almost broke in there.
Oh, that's not a good start. Price goes up from there, Roger.
Hey, you don't need batteries, do you?
Apparently he does.
Hey, no, Art, you can get on the broomstick there and you can get there, right?
No, that ain't working either.
Hey, anyway, I didn't hear you on the net, but I just heard you now, so I thought I'd say hello. Anyway, yeah, well, so you're going to get batteries or what? And that's one question, and another question I got for you. How did your eye surgery go?
No, can't hear you. Sorry.
Hey, well, as long as those guys pay for it, who cares? Anyway, switch radios. How do you copy on this one? Okay, you're full scale here, no problem at all. So, getting you very good. So, your eye surgery, I missed part of that, I think. So, can you see any better out of that eye? Okay, well, as long as you can hear me, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, so probably not as strong as Mac there. I think that was Mac in there with. Was that you, Mac?
Was that you, Rick?
I don't know. What'd you do? Or you got a guilty complex?
Yeah. I'm guilty of everything, but I'll never admit it. Anyways, so Ricky, you gonna take him down to Parkdale and help him pick up those batteries?
Yeah, I could do that maybe. So when are you doing that? Okay, is that when is it that you have to go down there? You're talking about used to be called Acme. I don't know what they call it, Northern Battery or something. What's it called now?
Who knows? Oh, almost.
Are they? Is the government gonna pay for it? Oh, gee. Oh, that's no good. Oh, well. Anyway, Mac, don't admit to nothing. If you're anything like me, you've done a lot of things in your life. And, I sure wouldn't admit it over the air. Anyway, let's turn over to Mac. BA3IMW. IMW. Well, it ends with a whiskey, so that's got to be good.
Yeah, when you finish with a whiskey, it's always fine. Anyways, yes. Never let them catch you admitting to anything. So, yeah, I've never been incarcerated, and despite everything that I may have done over the years, they haven't caught me at anything that's justifiable for internment. Anyways, Art, you still sticking around for a bit before we get to the 73 round? All right, QSL, so you're going to be going QRT very shortly. So I'll bid you 73s on behalf of Chuck and the rest of the net, and thanks for checking in with us tonight, and hope things go smoothly with you at the Northern Battery station down there on Parkdale. 73s, Art, anything else?
Hey, Art, like they used to say, don't take any wooden nickels. Okay, I didn't realize the net was still going there, Mac. Sorry about that. And carry on. This is B3BK, and tomorrow I'm busy there, so I can't help you out about going down to the battery place, but that definitely is a good battery place. I bought lots of batteries there. 73 for now. I'll be on the side here, B3BK.
Yeah, Rick, Darts is picking him up in the morning, so he's got that all taken care of. All right, back to you, Chuck.
Oh, Chuck went to the pizzeria and picked up dinner. Okay, very good, Mac, Rick, and Art. Thank you very much. And so let's do one more call out before we continue with on this day. So this is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu with the Amateur Radio Exchange Group, AREG. And we're looking for your check-ins. Anyone, anywhere, please come now. Okay, so let's pick up where we left off, and that was birthdays, people born on this day in history. So we're done with that, and now we're going to go with people who died today in history. And we start off with Douglas MacArthur. He passed away on this day in 1964 at the age of 84. So he's an American general in World War II. I do believe he was the highest decorated general with 4 or 5 stars or something. Or was that Patton? Anyways, so he was American general in World War II, the Pacific Theater and the Philippines, as well as Korea. Next, we've got Howard Hughes, passed away on this day in 1976 at the age of 72. That means he was born in 1905, but he passed away on this day in 76. And of course, he's the American reclusive billionaire, filmmaker, and aviator. Dies at the age of 72. Next, another rich person, Sam Walton. I think we spoke of Sam Walton last week, but this week he died. On this day in 1992, at the age of 74, he was born in 1918. But he was an American businessman, founder and CEO of Walmart and Sam's Club. Dies of multiple myeloma. I don't know. Anyways. Next is Kurt Cobain. Passed away on this day in 1994 at the age of 27. Commits suicide by shooting himself in the head with a shotgun. Sorry for anyone listening that might offend, but I was never particularly impressed myself with that. But anyways, moving on, Charlton Heston passed away on this day, 2008, at the age of 84. That means he was born in 1923. But passed away in 2008, and of course, he's most famously known for being in the 10 Commandments, Ben-Hur, and Planet of the Apes. Again, dies at the age of 84. Okay, last one on our list is Hamilton connection here. Boris Brott passed away just last year on this day. He was a Canadian music conductor at the Hamilton Philharmonic here in town. You might remember this. He was killed in a hit-and-run accident, and he was 78. That's a year ago today. Boris Brott, taken away. Otherwise, he would have been here. All right, let's go on to today's historical events. So on this day in the year 456, that's right, in the year 456, St. Patrick returns to Ireland after being held captive for many years and was returns to Ireland as a missionary bishop. So he had taken up religion during his abduction. Okay, now we have James the First returns to Scotland. So one guy goes to Ireland, the other one to Scotland. King James the First in 1424. Scottish King James the First returns to Scotland after 18 years of detention at the English court. In other words, he was in prison. Okay, next we go to the Mayflower returns to England. In 1621, on this day, the Mayflower sails from Plymouth, Massachusetts, on a return trip to England. All right, next, in 1722, on this day, the Europeans discover Easter Island. Dutch navigator Jacob Roggeveen is the first European to discover Easter Island and Rapa Nui in the southeastern Pacific. Here's a very interesting story here. In 1764, the British Parliament passes the sugar tax on the American colonies, introduced by Prime Minister George Grenville. The British Parliament passes the sugar tax. Now, a lot of you people might not know this, but Britain, the U.S., all made tremendous amounts of money taking over countries that had sugar cane. And so before oil was the main moneymaker, sugar was the main moneymaker for early Americans and as well as British. All right, let's go back to Scotland. In 1804, on this day, a meteor called the High Possil, Possil meteorite, the first recorded meteorite in Scotland, falls in a town called Possil. That's why it's called the High Possil meteorite. That's on this day in 1804. Another interesting story here. I never knew this, but we have a story about the miracle worker. On this day in 1887, a lady by the name of Anne Sullivan teaches water to the blind and deaf 6-year-old Helen Keller by holding one of her hands under a dripping water pump and spelling out water in Keller's palm. She goes on to learn how to read, write, speak, and graduate from college. All thanks to this lady called Anne Sullivan. Now, a lot of you remember the story about Pompeii, where Mount Vesuvius erupted and covered everyone in ash. Well, it kind of happened again. On this day in 1906, Mount Vesuvius erupts and devastates towns in the Naples province, killing more than 100 people. And those of you who still like inflatable tires, on this day in 1923, Firestone Tire and Rubber Company starts producing inflatable tires. Before that, it was all just solid, hard rubber. Woo, that was a rough ride. Let's go into the world record category now. In 1927, on this day, Johnny Weissmuller, also known as Tarzan, in the early 60s and 50s black and white movies, Johnny Weissmuller played Tarzan. And Johnny Weissmuller was an Olympian. So on this day in 1927, Johnny sets the world records in both the 100 and 200 meter freestyle swimming events. Famous, and he always dove in the water in the Tarzan series. Another record. Let's go now. 1934 on this day, baseball superstar Babe Ruth agrees to do 3 15-minute broadcasts a week over NBC for a fee of $39,000 for 13 weeks. That's $4,000 more than his New York Yankees playing contract. So athletes have been making money outside of the sport, whether it be through sponsors, you advertising for them, or what have you. It's been going on for quite some time. 1934, Babe Ruth takes advantage of that. All right. Well, on this day in 1936, Tupelo, Mississippi is virtually annihilated by a tornado, and 216 people die. Tupelo, Mississippi, I believe, is still around, but quite the devastation on that day in 1936. Another interesting story here. We have a story about a Chinese man by the name of Poon Lim, who spent 133 days in the South Atlantic Ocean on a raft. Chinese steward Poon Lim is found off the coast of Brazil by a Brazilian fisherman family after being adrift for 133 days. And that's after a British ship named SS Ben Lomond torpedoed by a German U-boat. So good for him. That must have been a rough 133 days, I'll tell you. 1943. Okay. Here's a Lancaster bomber story. On this day in 1944, 140 Lancasters bomb an aircraft factory in Toulouse, France. 140 Lancasters. It doesn't say how many they lost, but by the sounds of things, there's only 2 left that fly in the world, so they lost a lot of aircraft. Sticking with World War II, on this day in 1945, Dutch city of Almelo is freed by the 2nd Canadian Corps. So again, the Dutch love the Canadians. That's why every year I think they give tulip bulbs to Canada in honor of having sheltered the princess of the Netherlands back in World War II. If those of you didn't know that, that's why all those tulips are on Parliament Hill. It's because of the Dutch being thankful. All right. Now let's go into the Cold War and talk about the Rosenberg trial. I talked about them last week. In 1951, on this day, Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, called atomic spies, are sentenced to death. So that was on this day. Woohoo! 1962, on this day, NASA's Neil Armstrong pilots the X-15 jet to a height of 54,600 meters. That's over 160,000 feet. Probably saw the black of space at that height. And then in 1962 on this day, St. Bernard Tunnel is finished between Switzerland and Italy as the workers shake hands when they break through the tunnel. 1962. In 1967 on this day, 76er Wilt Chamberlain sets NBA record of 41 rebounds in one game. Okay, in 1969 on this day, there's a massive anti-Vietnam War demonstration occurring in many U.S. cities, and we all remember seeing those on the news. 1971 on this day, Mount Etna erupts in Sicily. So that's on the Italian island of Sicily. Mount Etna erupts in 71. 1972, the regular Major League Baseball season fails to open due to a player strike for the first time in history. That's in 72. 86 games were lost. So probably half the season. Let's jump to the NBA. We have an NBA record. In 1984, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar breaks Wilt Chamberlain's all-time career scoring record of 31,419. Well, Kareem, he gets 31,421. So, way to go. Two great superstars. All right, if you ever wondered how far you could throw a boomerang, it's 121 meters. In 1986, a record for a throw and return boomerang toss is set at 121 meters. Now, I don't know if that's the return, like there and back, or if that's just how far it went out, 121 meters. I don't know. All right, more sports. Sports history. 1987 on this day, Wayne Gretzky, the great one, wins 7 straight NHL scoring title. Woo! In 1990 on this day, Paul Newman wins a court victory over Julius Gold to keep giving all his profits from Newman Foods to charity. So Paul Newman was very charitable, and so was Steve McQueen. Every time Steve McQueen made a movie, he made sure that the production company would buy shoes, or he would buy shoes and go to the local, what do you call that place where there's orphans? Yeah, very generous. All right, we're almost there. In 1992, Serbian troops begin besieging Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia, which would become the longest siege in modern warfare. I didn't know that. That's in 92. Up in 95, pages of the Codex Argenteus, also known as the Silver Bible, the oldest text in the Gothic language, the 5th century, was stolen from Uppsala University Library, Sweden, in broad daylight. But it was recovered a month later.
Comment?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So, in 92, I just lived down the street from the city you just mentioned. And siege of our city started 2 days prior to that.
Oh, wow. Hey, you were there. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you got out and came to Canada.
Yeah, thank you, Chuck. Good country we have here. So yeah, it's funny enough. Like on April 3rd, I did send an email with a Wikipedia page to a couple of friends of mine, and it's kind of summarized how all the thing went down, and at least in my city. So it's kind of interesting that you pull up this one. So it's good. Anyways, I'm not gonna be holding the net anymore. Chuck, I'm gonna give you guys a 7-3 mark. If you are listening, can you just tell me how good or how bad I'm coming up to your end?
S9, Vanya. Won't hold it up. Great signal.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Chuck. Good net. I'm gonna guys give you 7-3, and I'll rejoin you most likely the next Sunday or on some another net 7-3, and Chuck, I guess 7-3. VA3 XLJ out.
Okay, Vanya, very good. Yeah, well, I thought it was an important thing in history, and that's what this segment of the net is usually about. We try and inform people, entertain them, and otherwise keep them here on the net for as long as possible. But anyways, thanks, Vanya. You're more than welcome, and we'll talk to you again soon, my friend. So let's go to the next one. There's only a couple left. 1997 on this day, Steve Irwin's The Crocodile Hunter on TV debuts. If you remember correctly, Steve Irwin was punctured in the chest by the barb of a manta ray. That's in 1997. His show debuted. I love that TV show. It was a lot of fun. Missed that guy. All right, next we have the Lockerbie bombing of Pan Am Flight 103. That's in 1999 on this day. 2 Libyans suspected of bringing down Pan Am Flight 103 in 1988. That's when Pan Am Flight 103 went down. They are handed over for an eventual trial in the Netherlands. Now, I usually like to leave or end the on this day with something a little bit different and not so serious. And so we have on this day in the year 2063, we have Earth's first contact with the extraterrestrial Vulcan species in the Star Trek universe. So there you go. We only have 40 more years to wait before we make contact with the Vulcans. And so do we have any comments or questions? Please come now.
I've got a question for you, Chuck.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Larry.
The one you said about the 152, 142 Lancasters bombing, where did they bomb?
An aircraft factory in Toulouse, France.
They bombed France?
By then, the Germans had it. And so they bombed an aircraft factory using 140 Lancaster bombers.
Oh, okay, thank you. Got me confused there. Couldn't figure out why they bombed France, but okay, the Germans had it. I understand it. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, not a problem. Anyone else have a question or comment? Please come now. All right. With that, do we have any last-minute check-ins for this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3 CJZ.
VA3 OYL.
Oh my goodness, VA3 OYL. Deb, come on in. How you doing?
Pretty good. I was busy watching the women's hockey game tonight, so and then the dog had to go for a walk, so I'm glad I got to sneak in here at the end.
All right. Very good. Very good. Yeah, we ran a little bit later than normal, but that's not a problem. And so, how have you been there? How's the pooch and your headaches?
Well, the headaches have been not too bad. The pooch is great. He's getting along with one of the cats fairly well, and the cat's getting used to the dog. So the cat's coming into the living room area more. The odd time the dog wants to chase the cat, but I just say no, and he's fine after that. So I'm pretty happy with the way things are going.
Yeah, the dog's like, okay, not a problem. I'll just do it when you're not when you're sleeping or you're not here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that he'll ever have that chance. But on his walk tonight, a bunny ran across the road. Well, that really perked him up.
Oh, I bet. Quick like a bunny, eh?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's what what they were bred for is small vermin and bunnies and rats and whatever. I don't know. I'll have to read up on the history of the schnauzer.
Yeah. I do know that Chihuahuas were actually bred for killing rats and reptiles. Their pointy little noses are meant to get into very small corners, very small places, and get these things. That's all I know.
Well, that explains a lot of the way Chihuahuas can be if they're not properly trained. Yeah, he's learning. Biggs is learning new commands all the time. It doesn't take him long to learn a command.
Very good.
And sometimes he gets so overzealous that he does all the commands just to get his treat, even though you're telling him one command. So that's pretty funny.
Oh, that's cute. Well, he remembers what he's supposed to remember, and he's showing you that he can. So that's, but the ulterior motive, of course, is num-nums. That's cute, Deb. I'm glad to hear it. And you called him Biggs?
Yeah, that's the name he came with. And I figure, oh, that's the only thing he has, right? So I guess the shelter in San Antonio gave him that name, so he knew it. So I just kept it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it'd be cruel to do otherwise. That's like my dog. When I got him, he was already 18 months old. And so he knew his name. And so that's why we kept it as well. So very good, Deb. Glad to hear everything is going well. And do you have anything else before we quickly run down the list for a 7-3 round?
No, I'll make this my 7-3 transmission. Thanks for doing what you do. I was listening earlier on some of the POTA activity. I didn't listen to the actual HF POTA activation, but I was listening to you guys on 2 meters or 440 or whatever. So it kept me busy during the day. So thanks for that. Okay, I'll say 7-3 to you and everyone else, and we'll catch you again. VA3 OYL.
Oh, did you hear the news before you go, Deb? Mac drove out to London and activated a park that no one else has activated yet. And that was down at the Wolseley Barracks in London.
Wow, good for him. And now he hasn't activated very many parks, has he? Or been out very many times?
No, but he's the first one to officially activate that park. So his call sign will be there forever.
Well, good for him for being the first to activate that early on in his activator career.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's awesome. I can't wait to go out with some of these guys there during the summer. Okay, Deb, thank you very much. By the way, you are check-in number 18, as well as 2 people that were on YouTube, 2 or 3. So thank you very much, Deb. Much appreciated. You enjoy the rest of the evening and week, and happy Easter.
Woo, I wish I was 18 again. Okay, happy Easter to you and everyone else, and have a good night.
All right, Deb. So we'll clear with VA3 OYL. So let's go to the top of the list and run down real quick. VE3 Bravo Kilowatt 7-3 round. Rick.
Well, I just happened to be listening along here. What? Better put the mic out a bit. And So 7-3 to everybody in there listening, and quite interesting stuff you ran down there too. Some of the stuff that I wasn't aware of. You know, some of the wartime stuff I find very interesting. So that was good talk. Thanks for doing what you do, and hopefully you'll get that antenna up pretty soon there, so we can hear you on 80 again. Anyway, so 7-3 everybody, and keep up the good work, Chuck. BA3 CJZ V3BK.
Okay, thank you very much, Rick. Much appreciated. We do our best to try and keep people informed and entertained. Okay, so let's next blah blah blah. They're all gone. Let's try Rick. VA3AXJ. You still with us, Rick? All right, let's try George. VE3GBD. He's probably taking the garbage out. Well, let's try Chris. VA3 Charlie Kilo Zulu. And that brings us to Mac. VA3 Indy Mike Whiskey.
QSL. Operative word is quick. 7-3, Chuck, great net.
All right, no problem, Mac. Glad to have you aboard. Thanks for all your help. And by the way, Nathaniel posted on YouTube that Rona bought Cashway. Not sure if that was mentioned earlier. So there you go. Another tidbit of information that I didn't know. So thank you, Nathaniel. All right, going down the list, we have, where are we? Oh, after Mac is Wade. Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha. Hope we're not keeping you up too late there, Wade.
No, not really. There is work tomorrow, but it's just work. So, thanks for doing it. 18's a good, respectable number, Chuck. Thanks, as always, for running the net. Really quick, I hadn't heard it mentioned earlier, but April 18th, RAC is running Amateurs on the Air, World Amateur on the Air Day. And you might get a certificate if you work a RAC station on April 18th from Zulu 0 to Zulu 2359. So it's on the WAC website if anybody's interested in working World Amateur Day on April 18th. Thanks for doing it again, Chuck. 7-3, and good night to all.
Okay, not a problem there, Wade. Yeah, we'll have to look that up and get all the info on that. And that's just under 2 weeks away. So there you go, 13 days from now. Thank you, Wade. Have a great evening and rest of the week there, my friend. Only 2 more sleeps till the weekend. All right, where are we now? Next, Vanya. I think he said 7-3, but let's see if he's still there. VA3XLJ. Vanya, any last words? Let's check and see if Tamash is still with us. VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. Next, we have Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Romeo Foxtrot. Vern, you still there? And that brings us to VE3 LBI. Larry.
7-3's all. Take care. Have a good one, and we'll probably talk to you, buddy, after, maybe a little bit after, if not in a couple of days. All right. Thanks, Chuck.
All right. Thank you, Larry. Take care. Have a great rest of the evening. Then we have Steve. Victor Alpha 3, November Foxtrot Golf. You still with us?
Absolutely, Chuck. I'm still hanging out here. For the duration, which has gone overtime a little bit, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. 7-3 to everybody who's still listening there on the side. And have yourselves a good evening. I know I'll be going to bed soon, as I have to work tomorrow, unfortunately. But hey, I'm off. I got the 3-day weekend coming up, so nothing wrong with that. So we'll say 7-3, everyone, and we'll talk at you another time. Thanks for doing the net, Chuck, and we'll talk to you later. VA3 NFG.
Okay, very good, Steve. Outstanding signal and audio as always. Sounding good there tonight, Steve. All right, take care. Well, that'll be it. We already just spoke to Deb there. She's the last on our list. So before we close the net, are there any last-minute check-ins who'd like to say hello here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group? AREG. This is VA3 CJZ. Anyone, anywhere, please come now. Anyone with a comment or question, please come forward.
Yeah, I got a comment there, Chuck. We forgot Easter's coming up, so happy Easter to everybody out there listening. And Chuck, you do a great job. 2 hours? Wow, that is fantastic. Okay, so we'll say 73. This is B3 BK in Hamilton.
Okay, Rick, thank you. And yes, absolutely. Happy Easter, everyone. May you all have health and happiness. Yeah, we love you all. And with that, I'm ready to wrap this up and say thank you, everyone who checked in either by radio or by YouTube or was just listening. It's my honor and pleasure to be doing the net every Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. here on 146.430. And with that, we'll say 7-3 and good night, all. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, returning the frequency back to regular operation.
AXJ.
Yes, sir, Rick. We called on you.
Yeah, I was in the other room. I didn't hear you, so I figured you did, but you're busy gabbing, so I didn't bother breaking in. Anyhow, thanks for doing the net, and we'll get back to you next Wednesday, or if not sooner. Bye for now, 7-3 is VA3 AXJ. We'll clear the frequency.
Okay, Rick. No problem, sir. Thanks for hanging in with us. Always a pleasure to have you, my friend. So happy Easter coming up. And so long, everyone. 7-3. We'll see you again next time. VA3 CJZ.
Hey, don't go away, Chuck. VA3 CJZ B3 BK.
Yes, Rick. Go ahead.
Tell me, how high is the tower you need to climb, and what kind of connection do you have? Is that the feed point of your G5 RV? Is that right?
Yes, it's 3 sections of tower, and the apex of the antenna is actually there's a 10-foot mast pole with my Diamond X200, and so the apex sits right just below the Diamond 200 on the 10-foot mast pole.
So let me go straight. You got to lower the mast pole to get up to where the feed point should be. Now, do you have a pulley on that? That's something that we used at a contest site quite a bit. You put in a loop of wire through a pulley, and then that way you can pull it up and pull it down, as long as you have that good rope there. So then you can change whatever you want from the ground.
Absolutely. I usually use a pulley, but when we put the antenna, when we had the tower raising day, all they did is they hooked the paracord on the back of something to use as a pulley, not an actual pulley, but I'm ordering a pulley for it, and so and some Dacron, and so that should do the trick.
Where are you getting the pulley? Because Prince's Auto has a big selection of pulleys.
Yeah, I was just looking online at them. I haven't ordered or thought about that just yet, because I know we're going to wait until after Easter to get this done. And yeah, and then I got my daughter moving in 2 weeks, or no, a week and a half. And so, yeah, we're going to have to try and find some time for that.
Yeah, I think I heard somebody suggest Dacron. And Dacron is good stuff. They use that on boats and ships and water. Dacron. And I think Marty has ordered black stuff for we use out at the warplane. I'm not sure what size you can get, but it is kind of expensive. But it's good for the UV. So that's the trouble with most cords. If you put them outside, hold up antennas, UV from the sun gets them, deteriorates them pretty bad, and then next thing you know, they break.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I just mentioned earlier that I ordered some. It's coming tomorrow, I do believe. So that's taken care of. And so, yeah, we're getting there, Rick.
Well, good stuff. Okay, good stuff. Anyway, yeah, well, I know lots about putting up antennas and stuff, so you always can ask me, even though I can't physically do a lot of that stuff anymore. But anyway, yeah, we definitely did a lot of antennas in my day, and so lots of good ideas. But anyway, G5RV, is that a homemade one, or is that one you bought there, over?
Yeah, actually, I bought it off of PDL. It's a store-bought antenna there, Rick. So 3 sections of tower, a 10-foot mast pole that has to come down and back up again.
Well, that's nothing. 3 feet of tower, or 3 sections of tower is 30 feet. 10-foot mast pole, you have to lower it out. You can't climb up that. And so 30 feet up, hey, yeah, you should be able to get somebody pretty easy to do that. In fact, that's about how high we had 2 of our towers out of the contest site. And one of them I went up, even though I wasn't supposed to. I went up when it was about 30 feet. And yeah, once you get up there and belt it in, boy, you lean back and enjoy the scenery and enjoy the weather, and it's kind of nice actually. But anyway, you do what you can do there, Chuck. Okay, better let you go. I gotta go. My wife is bugging me to go spend some time with her, and I've been on the radio a lot all night here, so. And I also had to go in, one of the old fellows there, John V3 FTK. I work on his computer remotely, so we had to fix him up too, and I haven't heard back from him, so I guess everything worked. Anyway, so 73 there, Chuck, great net, and we'll talk to you later. Happy Easter, VA3 CJZ V3 BK.
Okay, Rick. Yeah, so if you hear of someone, let me know. But like I said, we're just got to wait for Easter weekend there, and everybody should be able to whoever has time to do it won't have to worry about being at home for the family with the family on a holiday. So hopefully we can find somebody after Easter. If you do hear someone, Rick, let me know. Thanks again, my friend, for all what you do. And I appreciate you stopping by the net here and hanging out with us all night. So we'll talk to you later. And so now we are going to go QRT and take a break. But we'll come back either here or on the ZOE repeater. Thanks again, everyone. Have a good night. VA3 CJZ. Clear.